It's time to get into our first real big training camp update here on the Chiefs Report. I'm Harrison Graham from Chat Sports. A lot of Xavier Worthy discussion to get into, plus some injury news items to dive into as well. So we'll get to all that here in just a few moments. But listen, our Steelers talk host Jack Sperry, I'll just say it, he started talking shit because they passed us in subscribers, and here's what he had to say. I can't believe how easy it was to pass those losers. You think Steelers Nation is scared of the itty-bitty Chiefs? They're in our rear view now, he says. Doubt we'll ever see them again. Call us when you get 6 Super Bowls. Well, call us when you're going for a three-peat, Jack Sperry. But listen, the man is right about one thing. They have passed us in subscribers. We got to repass them here on today's show. So if you want to take down Steelers Talk and Jack Sperry, hit that subscribe button, and of course, we will continue to plug out daily Chiefs videos. Xavier Worthy back and mostly healthy at Chiefs training camp. We'll explain that part of it in a second. Certainly had an eventful first day down in St. Joseph as they get camp underway. Rookies and quarterbacks, now vets are about to report as well. Here is Nate Taylor on the rookie wide receiver saying this, said Mahomes' first pass in opening 7-on-7 period in the middle of the field was the target for Worthy, who ran a simple slant route. Worthy dropped the ball and left the field for a few minutes because the pass jammed his left pinky. A trainer taped the little finger to his ring finger. Quote, I'll be all good. All right, Worthy said. Taylor continued by saying, once he returned to the field, Worthy didn't drop another pass. His first highlight came when he ran a deep route near the sideline against tight coverage from third-year quarterback Najee Johnson. Quarterback Ian Book's pass was put in a proper location, allowing Worthy to make a diving catch. And that is kind of ironic. Literally the first target for him, he nicks his finger a little bit. Luckily, he came back, no harm, no foul. And obviously, you don't want it to be the hamstring because that's what he dealt with throughout spring, missing OTAs and minicamp, so that's a positive. You guys saw in that initial photo, he does have that hamstring wrapped, so still working his way back from that a little bit, which he talked about here. He says, quote, I'm working my way back in. It felt good just to be out here with the guys and just being able to play football again as I go. The hamstring is going to continue getting better. And look, you know, I'm at a 5 out of 10 on a concern level. I just think his play style and size and speed combination, twitchiness, you're always going to be probably at least slightly concerned about soft tissue injuries, right? Like when you're that twitchy, that explosive change of direction, you're always going to be a little concerned that you could strain a groin, pull a hamstring, whatever the case may be. But you're just going to live with that because he's going to generate so many explosives for you offensively. And he defended himself too, considering his injury track record's pretty good. He said, in college, I never missed a game. Having that injury happen, it's kind of frustrating, but I got the chance to learn and get better in a different way, learning the playbook. I want to be the best me, the best version of myself. If I do that, I'll be in a good spot. So, listen, if you're going to suffer an injury, the offseason is the time to do it, and he's now working his way back from that. Adam Teicher added this note today. He said the Chiefs' second pre-camp practice is winding down. Mahomes was serious about trying to get the ball to Worthy. 4 of the 6 passes he threw in 7-on-7 drills went to Worthy. 2 were completed, including for a touchdown in the red zone. And look, it certainly seems like they're trying to ramp him up pretty quick, right? Like Patrick's quote on the opening day when they all reported was, hey, there's no easing him in. Like it's putting him out there. And then, you know, with a couple of reports from practice, they're throwing to him a lot. Like they're trying to get that connection, that chemistry developed because – look, in OTAs, he wasn't out there. So, you know, he missed out on valuable reps. So now it's catch-up time, and they need to get him up to speed quickly, and looks like they're trying to do that, take advantage of these days before the vets get here and get Mahomes out there a few throws to his new rookie receiver. How do you feel about Worthy's health at this point in time? G for great, W for worried. I'd be somewhere in the middle, like not great. I'm not worried, though. He does have a pretty good track record of staying healthy. But again, you know, those soft tissue things, you want to be cautious there and not overdo it if it's still not 100%. So I feel okay about it. Obviously, it'll be something to monitor as we move forward. Now we're going to get to some injury news and notes here in just a second. A few players going on the PUP list that I want to dive into, so stay tuned for that. But listen, we told you guys off the top, we got to pass Steelers Talk in subscribers. We're 34 behind those guys. I think at least 34 people watching at this exact second have not subscribed to the channel. If you want daily Chiefs coverage throughout training camp, on into the season, preseason, etc., hit the subscribe button. We will continue to keep you guys informed. Spread that link with a friend as well, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Okay, Aaron Wilson had the note that Derek Nottie, Charles Omenihu, Joe Thuney, Jalen Watson going onto the PUP list, B.J. Thompson on the active non-football injury list. And then, of course, they signed Kyle Sheets, which we mentioned the other day. So some roster maneuvering for Kansas City. You look at the guys on PUP first, mostly non-surprises, right? Derek Nottie, minor issue. He should be back soon. Charles Omenihu, obviously recovering from that torn ACL. He's about 4.5 months removed, almost 5 months removed from surgery. So, still probably thinking second, third month of the season, October maybe is when he'll come back. We'll have to wait and see. Joe Thuney, we'll talk more about him in a second. He goes on there as well as he's continuing to recover. Jalen Watson, I think that's somewhat notable. It doesn't sound super serious, but he's expected to be your number 2 corner this year behind Trent McDuffie. Obviously, with B.J. Thompson, he had the kind of the DeMar Hamlin situation during OTAs, which was very scary. But obviously, they got him stabilized, and he's healthy in terms of being recovered from that, but clearly not ready to play football yet. So, who knows what the timetable for him is in that regard. Now, I think out of all of these, Thuney's the one to watch because it was a pretty significant injury. And I think considering the position he plays, left guard, and what's the position I've talked about a bunch this offseason, left tackle, you need Thuney out there because if you're going to have average left tackle play or even less at times, depending on how Morris and or Suamataia play, it's nice having your all-pro left guard kind of help you out over there, right? Do the communications to him, help on certain double-team situations when you need to do that as well if he needs to chip on some edge rushers. What you don't want is to enter week 1 with an unknown at left tackle and then a backup left guard because then I think teams are really their attack of plan is going to be, hey, let's put our best rusher on the left side of the Chiefs' offensive line and try to win because you'd have 2 question marks over there. So you need Thuney back, and hopefully you need him or get him back soon. Here's Andy Reid talking about this. He said, Joe's working his tail off, getting better. We've got to see exactly how this thing works. We've got to get clearance from the doctor and that whole process that goes on as we go, but he's making good progress. He'll be one of those guys that's kind of right on the bubble, whether he can go or not from the healing part of it. And I think he's kind of referencing, week 1. Because, look, Joe Thuney, do you need him in training camp in the preseason? Not really. He's 31, 32 years old. He's a multi-time All-Pro. Like, he knows what he's doing out there. He's a tough player. He's played through stuff. I would bet he's ready week 1. But it doesn't sound like that's a given. Doesn't sound like that's a guarantee. And obviously, Baltimore's a ferocious defense in week 1. If Thuney's not out there, that's advantage Ravens' defensive line, I would say, compared to the Chiefs' offensive line and what they would potentially trot out there. So I'm definitely going to monitor this situation. We'll keep you guys updated on anything new that develops regarding Thuney. Do you guys think he will be ready for week 1 opening night against the Baltimore Ravens? If you do, type Y for yes. If you don't, type in for no. I think he will, but it sounds like it's going to be pretty close, and certainly would not want to play a game without him because his level of play and just the position he plays is critical considering left tackle is a question mark. All right, that's going to do it for today's Chiefs Report. More camp updates to come, especially once the vets start trickling in here in the next 24 hours. That's exciting. And then the practices really begin down in St. Joseph. We, of course, will have you guys covered for all of it. We'll have videos throughout the weekend as well. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. Let's take down Steelers Talk.